Welcome back. So in part one,
Mhm.
we really got into like the nitty-gritty
Yeah.
of how spatial analyses can reveal those secrets hidden in plain sight.
Within a city's layout, I'm still thinking about those HILC streets.
Oh, yeah.
So much potential,
Yeah,
just waiting to be tapped.
It's exciting, isn't it?
Yeah.
But these analyses, they're not just about uncovering cool patterns.
Right.
They're meant to inform real-world decisions,
Yeah.
about how we design and develop our cities.
So let's get practical. We've
Okay.
talked about these different types of spatial analyses.
Right.
So how can the city of Baia Mare
Mhm.
actually use these findings to make improvements? Where do they even begin?
Well, let's start with those highly integrated zones
Okay.
in the city center.
Yeah.
Remember, those are the areas that are already pedestrian magnets.
They are.
The analysis showed that Baia Mare could really benefit from making these zones even more pedestrian-friendly.
Okay, so wider sidewalks, maybe some dedicated pedestrian zones where
Yeah.
cars are restricted. What else?
Think shade trees,
Love it.
comfortable benches,
Yeah.
well-maintained crosswalks,
Mm-hmm.
and plenty of lighting
Yeah.
for safety at night.
It's about creating a space where people want to linger, not just rush through.
Exactly. Yeah, it's about creating an experience.
I love that idea. What about those radial street patterns we talked about,
Uh-huh.
like the ones around the food market?
Yeah.
The analysis showed they can be prone to congestion.
Right, and because those areas are often hubs of activity,
Yeah.
attracting people from all directions.
Mm-hmm.
Baia Mare needs to get creative
Yeah.
with managing traffic flow.
Okay.
Remember how we talked about widening roads not always being the best solution?
Yeah, like trying to lose weight by loosening your belt.
Exactly.
So what's the alternative?
Think public transport.
Okay.
Baia Mare could implement dedicated bus lanes
Mm-hmm.
or even a light rail system along those radial routes.
Okay.
Imagine hopping on a tram
Yeah.
and zipping right into the heart of the city without having to worry about traffic.
That sounds amazing.
Right.
And it ties in perfectly with that whole idea of creating a balanced transportation system.
It-
But what about people who prefer to walk or bike?
Great point. Those radial routes need to be designed with them in mind, too.
Okay.
Baia Mare could implement protected bike lanes,
Yeah.
widen sidewalks,
Uh,
and maybe even consider creating some car-free zones.
ooh.
Near the market, imagine strolling through a bustling market without having to dodge cars.
Now that's a city I want to live in. Okay, so we've covered the high integration zones
Mm-hmm.
and those radial patterns.
Mm-hmm.
What about those high choice streets?
Yeah.
The city's main arteries, how can they be optimized?
Well, one interesting recommendation
Okay.
is to implement dynamic pricing for parking.
What's that?
So basically, the cost of parking would fluctuate throughout the day,
Okay.
with higher prices during peak hours
Mm-hmm.
and lower prices during off-peak times.
So if you really need to drive downtown during rush hour, you're going to pay a premium.
Yeah, basically, but if you
yeah.
can be flexible
Yeah.
with your schedule,
Yeah.
you can score a better deal.
So it's like surge pricing, but for parking?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It incentivizes people to consider alternative modes of transportation or to shift their travel times.
It's a nudge in the right direction,
Right.
using
Yeah.
economics to promote more sustainable behavior.
Yes.
Smart. What else?
Baia Mare could also leverage technology to optimize traffic flow on those high-choice streets.
Oh, okay.
Think smart traffic lights that adjust in real time based on traffic volume sensors that detect congestion and automatically reroute traffic.
Oh, wow.
Even apps that provide drivers with up-to-the-minute information
Yeah.
about accidents or road closures.
It's like bringing those streets into the 21st century.
Right. We're not just relying on concrete and asphalt anymore.
Yeah.
We're using data and technology to
Yeah.
create a smarter...
More efficient transportation system.
Exactly. But remember,
Yeah.
it's not just about cars.
Right.
The article emphasizes that high-choice streets need to accommodate pedestrians and cyclists, too.
For sure.
That means maintaining wide, well-lit sidewalks, protected bike lanes, and clear signage for everyone.
It's about creating a truly multimodal transportation system
Yes.
where all modes are respected and integrated.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm ready for the grand finale. Let's talk about those HILC streets again.
Okay.
Those hidden gems with so much potential.
Yeah.
What does the article recommend for those?
So remember, HILC streets are those well-connected but underutilized streets.
Right.
Perfect for revitalization efforts.
Mm-hmm.
Baia Mare could start by encouraging mixed-use development along these streets. With a mix of residential, commercial, and community spaces, imagine a quiet street transforming into a vibrant hub.
I can.
with little cafes, bookshops, artists, studios, and maybe even some co-working spaces.
It's like taking those forgotten corridors and injecting them with life.
Exactly. Imagine adding some inviting public spaces along the way.
Okay.
Pocket parks, community gardens,
Love it.
public art installations,
Yeah.
even outdoor seating areas.
It's about creating destinations,
Yeah.
not just pass-through streets.
Exactly.
And because these streets are already well connected to the rest of the city, people can easily get there whether they're walking, biking, or taking public transport.
Yeah, it's all coming together.
It is. The analysis also suggests that HILC streets could be ideal locations for sustainable transportation initiatives
Oh, yeah.
because they don't have a ton of car traffic.
Right.
They're perfect for expanding bike lanes,
Yeah.
pedestrian-only zones, or even those shared streets where cars, bikes, and pedestrians all coexist peacefully.
I love those.
We're taking these under-the-radar streets and turning them into showcases for sustainable urban design. I am so inspired right now. This deep dive has been mind-blowing. I'm looking at my city with fresh eyes, and I'm already spotting potential HILC streets everywhere I go.
That's fantastic. And it's not just about Baia Mare. These spatial analyses have implications for cities all over the world.
That's right. They give us this incredible framework for understanding how our cities work and how we can make them better, not just for transportation, but for livability, sustainability, and even social equity.
Absolutely. But we're not quite done yet.
You're right. In part 3, we'll step back and look at the bigger picture, exploring the broader implications of spatial analyses and what they can teach us about the future of urban development. It's going to be fascinating.
I know. I can't wait.